Everybody loves the one being, and almost as many people hate Kronika. I've scoured the lore for anything and everything that has to do with both of these characters, and I can say, after all that research, unequivocally, that the one being is rubbish. I think the one being is actually bad for the franchise. Kronika fixes all the flaws that the one being presents, and she is a superior antagonist for the story. And if you give me just a few minutes by the end of this video, you will think so as well.
I rule this world.
I absolutely adore a Lovecraftian creature beyond the comprehension of the human mind. I love Cthulhu. I love The Cabin in the Woods. I love Eternal Darkness, great game. And I love the idea of the one being. But I have to admit, the plotline for the one being creates some inconsistencies in the story of Mortal Kombat that cannot be overlooked. In the first timeline, before anything else existed, there was the Elder Gods and the one being. Because of its insatiable hunger, the Elder Gods used the Kamidogu to shatter the one being before it could devour them all. Each part of the one being formed one of the many realms that exist in Mortal Kombat. The realms themselves, which, keep in mind, every realm is an entire universe that has no physical borders. Each realm is just a piece of the one being. Craving to be whole again, through the influence of the one being, people like Shao Kahn and Onaga have a compulsion to merge the realms, which would destroy the realms themselves to revive the one being so that it can continue to consume everything. To prevent weaker realms from being subjugated by others, the Elder Gods created the Mortal Kombat tournament. If a realm can win 10 straight victories against another, the victor has the right to merge the realm of the losers into their own. Any attempt to merge realms without victory in Mortal Kombat causes the Elder Gods to come down from the heavens and punish the cheater with a death sentence. Any one of these plots on their own makes for a pretty interesting story. But you'd have to be deaf, blind, and dumb not to see the glaring issues when all of these plot points come together in the same story. Knowing that the realms are made up of the parts of the one being, why would the Elder Gods allow anyone to merge the realms under any circumstance? It's like that episode of Naruto where they have to pass an impossible test with the proctors watching them. If they're caught cheating 3 times, then they'll be eliminated from the exam. But why not eliminate someone the first time they're caught cheating? The characters correctly deduce that the exam isn't to pass a test, but to cheat without being noticed. Giving the characters leniency to cheat when you actually want them to do so absolutely makes sense. But why in the blue hell would the Elder Gods give the characters of Mortal Kombat leniency to merge the realms when they actually want to keep the realms separate? Why not just forbid everyone from merging the realms, and if anyone attempts to do so, then they can come down from the heavens and punish the cheater with a death sentence? The very existence of the one being completely ruins the lore of the Mortal Kombat tournament and the idea of merging the realms. It makes it seem like the Elder Gods are okay with the revival of the one being, knowing that it wants to eat them. The idea that the one being, despite being split into pieces, can still extend its consciousness in a manner that can influence other characters to obey its will is a pretty cool concept. Very Lovecraftian, and like I said, I eat that stuff up. But a couple things never sat right with me on this. First is how we discover this, through the backwards talk of some random guy in the Netherrealm. In the Netherrealm and in Chaos Realm, there are characters that speak backwards. Replaying their speech forward does reveal plot points, some of which do turn out to be true. Shao Kahn using the Mortal Kombat tournament to merge the realms is a true statement that we learn from one of these backward speakers. This is something that makes sense that this character would know, seeing as this is a fact that many characters know. Even though, like I said, it makes no sense for the Elder Gods to allow this to happen, but let's move on. The idea that this random guy would know the innermost desire of this celestial being that comprises all matter and space is just wild to me.
The One Being uses the ambition of creatures like Shao Kahn and Onaga to merge itself back together.
Some fans feel like it is enough that this exists to take it as gospel. As long as somebody said it, it's 100% true. That's like thinking Onaga will actually win in the end just because another person in the game said this.
The Dragon King will rule supreme.
You have to take the source of the information into account. Just because it's said doesn't mean it's true. You have to take into account who is saying it and does that character have any credibility. That last clip was clearly someone who worships the Dragon King. So from their perspective, Onaga will ultimately win, even though we know that he doesn't. But some of you will take that statement and jump to the conclusion that it's true because somebody in the game said so. But even if we take that at face value, and the One Being is indeed pulling the strings, he's the puppet master to make Shao Kahn and Onaga merge the realms for him, then I ask you this. Why does he stop there? Why doesn't he make everybody want to merge the realms? Why not make Liu Kang or even Raiden want to merge the realms? Perhaps make them think that, hey, Earthrealm is peaceful, it has prosperity, and we have mumble rap. And because of that, let's spread our prosperity to all the realms by merging them with Earth. Why does the One Being only attempt to control the bad guys to achieve its goal? This being true makes the One Being seem like an idiot. Even a child would realize you gotta play both sides to get what you want. I mean, how many times when you were a child, or how many times have you seen a child ask their dad for something and they tell them no, and then they just go to their mom and ask the same question? But not the One Being. He just sits there like 10 pounds of monkey crap stuffed into a 5-pound bag, and he just takes the L. This is the master manipulator?
Is this your king? Huh?
Now, there is some odd writing that I don't agree with when it comes to Kronika. She has 2 children in Shinnok and Cetrion, and there's no father figure in the picture. If she was a black woman, I'm pretty sure some high-value men would be in a frenzy, posting online asking if Kronika has 1 baby daddy or 2, or if she's worthy, or what she brings to the table, or whatever those guys talk about. Thankfully, those aren't the criticisms for this character. Instead, Kronika is seen as incompetent and not very powerful. Seeing as there isn't 1 or 2 scenes where she's just beating people up in a cool or unique way, I can understand why they have that criticism. Because instead, she's just confined to like freezing people in time and just walking away. Also, some of her decisions against the heroes are questionable at best. When it comes to being the ultimate antagonist, puppet master villain of the franchise, despite all of her flaws, Kronika is a better fit than the One Being could ever hope to be. When we learn about Kronika, we find out that at the beginning, when there was only the One Being and the Elder Gods, hidden from all of them were the Titans. Even more powerful than the Elder Gods, Kronika is the Titan of Time and the mother of 2 Elder Gods. Shinnok, who values darkness and death, and Cetrion, who spreads light and creation. Obsessed with control, Kronika is, well, she's insane. Much like Cersei from Game of Thrones, who both shelters and protects the goodness of her daughter Marcella, while at the same time cultivating the evil of her son Joffrey. Kronika wants good and evil to be in equal balance, making sure one does not exceed the other. And when one does ultimately overpower the other, despite which one is winning, good or evil, Kronika restarts time to the beginning so that things can play out again, but this time she makes subtle changes to ensure that her golden balance remains intact.
Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
This motive better fits the lore of the Mortal Kombat story without making the characters seem like they're foolish. Where the existence of the one being makes the Elder Gods seem like complete jabronis for allowing the Mortal Kombat tournament to be a pathway to merging realms, if you replace it with Kronika, it makes the Elder Gods look more competent. To Kronika, merging the realms isn't of any real consequence, so long as the total power of good and evil throughout all the realms are balanced. The one being only trying to influence Shao Kahn and Onaga to merge the realms make it seem like some sort of goof troop for confining his influence to just one side. However, Kronika influences everyone. She compels the villains to merge the realms, while at the same time influences heroes to do what they can to resist tyrants. If evil becomes too powerful, she regulates them with the Mortal Kombat tournament. If good becomes too powerful, then she sows the seeds of resentment among the heroes, the way she did with Raiden and Liu Kang, and caused them to fight. Kronika does a much better job at being a puppet master than the one being has been shown to be.
I have been a fool, Liu Kang. Kronika's puppet. We only battle because she wills it.
I do not understand, Lord Raiden. Your rage was caused by Kronika?
Yes. I succumbed to her influence. But then, our confrontation, it unlocked memories. Memories not only from this timeline, but from timelines that have come before.
Wait a sec, timelines? Plural?
Kronika has restarted time on countless previous occasions, using each timeline to learn and to perfect her plan. The details of each timeline are different, but in each one, events conspire to bring Liu Kang and I into conflict.
Also, the fact that you can physically fight Kronika allows her to fit into the story a lot better. Mortal Kombat is a martial arts fantasy. As cool as Lovecraftian stories are, where the entire plot is to prevent a certain event from happening, in a martial arts story, you typically expect the final conflict to be resolved in a fight. That's just not possible with the one being for a few reasons. First of all, where would you fight him? In space? Well, once the one being is whole again, all the realms are gone. Also, he's depicted as being a gigantic head that can't be harmed by conventional means. If there's a situation where the one being appears, it has already won. You can't fight it. Simply because there isn't anything any of the characters can do to overcome such a situation. Kronika, however, is a better option as a final villain because the characters can actually fight her. Plus, her fatality is one of the best in the franchise.
Fatality. Kronika wins.
Despite how you feel about her, the idea that Kronika makes the Elder Gods not look like buffoons for creating the Mortal Kombat tournament, and the one being does make them look stupid, the idea that she manipulates all the characters to achieve her goals instead of just a handful the way the one being does, and the idea that she's a character that can be put into a fight with the other characters and the one being cannot be put into a fight for a boss in a fighting game makes Kronika a much better antagonist than the one being. The character who is beyond the shadow of a doubt the absolute best master villain of the entire franchise of Mortal Kombat has to be a girl. The thought of time, the titan of terror, the baby mama that causes all the drama. Don't hold your breath, fresh to death. None other than Kronika. If you disagree or think that I forgot something, fight me in the comments. I'm kidding. Do not fight me. I'm not looking for a fight. Pretend I'm the one being. You can't fight me. But let me know if you agree or disagree. Who is the better fit for the master manipulator villain in Mortal Kombat? The One Being, or do you agree with me that it is Kronika? I did a poll on this the other day, and most of you said the One Being. If you're in that camp, please explain to me why. Not just that you like the One Being or you're partial to him because you love deception. Let me know why exactly you like the One Being better. If you made it this far, you can
Acknowledge me!
by hitting the like button. That helps videos like this get to viewers like you, so I really appreciate it. You can hit confirm that by hitting the subscribe button to join
Literally millions.
of ShinFit subscribers. If you want to see who is the most powerful sorcerer in the entire Mortal Kombat franchise, that video is on screen now. But more importantly than anything else, don't get beat up out there.